Hello, and welcome to the audio commentary for the very first episode of the Deadpool series, also known as Deadpool's Day Out. Yes, this is what started it all. Funnily enough, every episode of the show is actually named after a movie or a pop culture reference of the sort. This is a reference to the Joe Kelly run of the original Deadpool ongoing series, where every issue was of the same. And I tried my best to try and emulate Kelly's style of writing Deadpool. He's always been my favorite version of Deadpool. So my Deadpool is a little, not quite as zany as Fabian Nacinzia's Deadpool, and a little bit sadder most of the time. I just made fun of Ryan Reynolds. A lot of people did not like that in the first episode. Probably the two most common comments are, "Oh man, the costume looks so good. Oh, this is so funny." And "How dare you make fun of Ryan Reynolds, you fatty!" You know, there's Derek White. He's the terrorist, otherwise known as Steve Al Ghul, as revealed in the last episode. He's the only other character to be in every episode of the show, not including the crossover special we did with Nate. But here's Chris Jones and Casey May as Power Man and Iron Fist. I really feel like this scene is actually very in character for all three of them. Deadpool breaking the fourth wall all the time, and them being seriously annoyed by it because it just seems like he's rambling incoherently. I had a lot of fun writing this scene because these are three characters that I really like, and I felt that I could pull off well. Everyone who has commented on it says that Chris's voice for Luke Cage is just perfect. He's a little skinny for Power Man, but that's fine. And Casey's just great as Iron Fist. Danny Rand, I think if we ever get the script done, we will be doing a Power Fist fan film with Casey as Danny Rand. Of course, we'll be updating the costume. This is way back when, at the beginning of my costuming career. In fact, the original title of the episode was The Deadpool Sketch, aka a reason to use the costume other than Halloween. I bought the Deadpool costume online. As you can see, it doesn't look that good. The eyes look ridiculous. But I added some stuff to it. I added the gloves, I added the belt, the one pouch and a holster. Ever since then, I've just been adding on. I actually completely have replaced the costume since I've made it, well, not from scratch, but made it myself. Found a better way to. Oh, Chris broke there a little. That's kind of funny. Never noticed that before. But and so as you can see, like, I just took some green Under Armour for Iron Fist there, and then sewed on the symbol and just tied something around his head, and the mask does not look good in the back. I think it looks fine in the front for the most part, but now I know a lot more about how to make these things. And if we ever do the Iron Fist movie, I would obviously remake the costume. Now, is it racist that Luke Cage is eating fried chicken there? I don't actually think that it is. It's because we actually just got fried chicken for dinner that night, and they had to be eating in the scene, so that's what he's eating. If you look closely on Iron Fist's plate, he's eating the same thing, just the chicken's already gone because Casey eats. It's insane how much Casey can eat. So here's my second favorite joke: the Smokey the Bear joke. I thought that was really funny. This is also pretty early on in my filmmaking career. I've made a couple things before this, but I still didn't, quite know a lot of technical stuff. There were a couple camera angle things I would do a lot differently if I did this episode now. 60s Batman transition. Funny thing about this scene is that it took too long to shoot the other stuff, and so it was night by the time we were shooting the last two scenes. The last scene it was fine because that took place inside, but this scene was supposed to be during the day and outside, so it's super dark, and so I decided to have it be a night vision sort of scene and pretend that it was found footage. But I had to have some reason to have it all of a sudden be found footage, and so I did this transition with the two guys talking at the camera, and then put camera 4 down at the bottom. I think it worked pretty well. It didn't work great, but it was at least fun and understandable. When I got to this scene, I had no idea how I was really going to do Stiltman. Even though Stiltman's a terrible, terrible villain, he does have a very iconic look. Originally, what I wanted was Rory. Roy Smith is playing Stiltman there. He was going to be wearing a hoodie, and then we were going to wrap the hoodie in duct tape so that he would have the hood thing in the back. But we just couldn't get around to it, and so we literally just wrapped Rory in, silver duct tape, and that was the costume. Like I said, this wasn't supposed to be a series. It was just supposed to be one episode, or just one thing, because I just wanted to have fun with it. But the request to do more was so high that I was like, all right, let's do it again, and decided to make a whole series out of it. After another example of how I didn't think this was going to be a series is that I decided to put all the special features actually in this video. This episode was only like 5 minutes long. And here's the alternate take with the terrorist. I wanted the terrorist just to die, and so if I had known this was going to be a series in that Derek's character, the terrorist was going to keep showing up, I would have kept that in there, and so that it wouldn't have made it seem like the terrorist had actually died in the first episode. Another thing that's kind of interesting was when I decided to make this a series, I actually was thinking about addressing the fact that the first episode wasn't going to be canon. I didn't actually like the first episode that much. It's zany, it's funny, it's silly, but compared to the other episodes are a lot more story-driven, and there's nothing that really happens in this episode. Deadpool just kind of runs in this Iron Man and Power Fist. They decide to go to this place. They're going to go fight Stiltman, and then they don't. That's all that happens. And so in the beginning of the second episode, it shows Deadpool dreaming, and he's actually dreaming about the first episode and the comments that people were having. And so something that I was throwing around is that the first episode actually didn't happen. It was just a dream. But the last episode references this is where we met, therefore it is canon, and it did happen.